What it do, everybody? This is your boy, Mr. A-Bear Raw, back again with another video. And today, I want to have a conversation about the Kwame Brown situation that's been happening recently. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, you've noticed that Kwame Brown has been at everybody. Not everybody, all right? I'm being a little bit hyperbolic here. But let me go ahead and give you my little, I guess, my observation. What I notice from Kwame Brown is that essentially this is someone's channel, all right, or someone's brand growing. And I think initially I wasn't sure what exactly to think about it. Now, if you guys are not familiar, Kwame Brown is an ex-NBA player who, depending on who you ask, is a bust. Put it that way. But what I think is very, very interesting here is what everyone is actually doing. And I don't think that everyone is really even realizing that that's what's happening. So it's like this, right? I think that I'll put it this way. When I first started, I wasn't sure, mostly because I wasn't sure if what was happening was some like flyby situation, or if what he was talking about had major validity, right? I kind of was just, you guys know, I'm a fan of the NBA, especially Sixers, bro. All right, so you already know where I stand on that. But as far as some of the points he was making about some of the commentators, I was not sure if it was coming from a place of anger and disgust over being talked about so badly for several years, or if it was something else. I right now feel like it maybe initially it might have started out as that, but I think that it's beginning to go somewhere else. Now, I went back and started to look at some of his other content, some of his older content, and I'm going to be real with you. Some of the things that he says make too much sense, bro. Like they make too much sense. Now, what do I think is happening? Well, I think what we could be witnessing is the beginning of a cultural shift. Now, I know some people are going to hear that and be like, man, yeah, you're blowing this up. It's not that crazy. It's not that deep. But hear me out on this, okay? I'm sure that the people during the civil rights movement, I'm sure there were people who thought that what was going on was something that was going to be some flyby thing. I'm sure there were people, there's no possible way there weren't people that thought what was happening was going to be something that was just going to be like, they tried it and it didn't work, and that's not what happened. That's not what happened at all. The culture shifted. The reason why I'm saying that this could be a potential cultural shift is because, honestly, think about the people who are coming out right now. We're talking about people like Kwame Brown. We're talking about people like Kevin Samuels, all right? We're talking about people like O'Shea Duke Jackson, MTR, AMS, Fresh and Fit, Book of Obsidian. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about a lot of voices. And I think right now what's happening is people are getting something that they didn't even know they necessarily wanted or potentially needed. It's kind of like this, right? Y'all remember when like the Trump thing first started and everybody was like, nah, this isn't going to happen. Hillary's going to wind up winning the race, right? Do y'all remember what people said when they asked like Trump supporters what their reason was for why they supported him? Do you? If you remember, tell me down in the comment section. I remember what it was. They said that they appreciated that he spoke his mind. I translated that to mean they appreciated that he said what they were already thinking. I think that that's what's happening here with people like Kwame, with people like Kevin Samuels. These are guys who just have a better way of saying it. And beyond having a better way of saying it, They're not at the mercy of corporate America. I'm sure that a lot of the people who they talk about in their videos, they don't always talk about other people, but I'm sure that the people who they have spoken about are also aware that there are certain things that there are certain limitations that you have working for someone else that you just simply won't have if you're by yourself. I mean, okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it this way, right? Everyone is essentially going to always wind up having some form of a boss, to a degree. All right. But what that boss is going to be is really dependent on what your choices are. Meaning this, if you put yourself into a situation where you are actually going to be the main person that's in charge of everything, let's say with a situation like this, like with Kwame, or maybe with Kevin Samuels, you gotta remember these guys have other gigs outside of what they do here. But as far as their audience growth, this is just people choosing to support them. That's all it is. It's literally just people choosing to support them. And I think that the reason for it is because they're hearing things that they already think. These people generally already thought these things. Their voices weren't very loud before until something else happened. These dudes happened, bro. These men spoke out about things that a lot of people have probably already been feeling for like several years, decades in some conversations. I think that should be taken into consideration. And I mean really taken into consideration. I think that what we wind up doing though, or what I've been observing, because look, that's what I do, all right? I people watch. And then I talk about whatever I'm seeing here. I think the reason why people are actually attacking these people though is threefold. One, jealousy. Two, to gain some sort of clout, because let's be real, this is the internet. It's the clout business, bro. All right, it's the clout and attention business. It's about gaining attention at any and all costs. And if you see that someone on the internet is buzzing, they're booming, they're huge right now, you're gonna throw your hat into the ring, even if what you say has absolutely no validity. If you get hate, at the very least, you're getting attention, you're gaining eyes. But then there's a third reason, and that third reason, I think, has a lot more to do with self-preservation. You gotta remember, a lot of these people are generally from like borderline or just literally mainstream media. These people don't like have pretty much anything else as far as like what they're actually going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like what they're going to talk about, who they're going to be. Like it's all about like public perception. If the public doesn't trust what you say anymore, that could prove to be problematic. Let's put it that way. That could prove to be an issue moving forward in your business model, bro. You need people to even want to listen to you. The issue is this. It's okay for them to dislike what you say. It's not okay for them to completely discredit what you say and then write you off, because then you're out of money. All right, then no one's paying attention. All right, it's the same thing with the rap game, right? Sure, all right, Namir had the situation that he had, right? But what do you think hurt him more about his project? The fact that Soul Train was getting clowned, or the fact that he sold only 3,800 something copies? I'm gonna go with the latter. Why? Because it means that's a fall off. That is a fall off, bro. A terrible song that has 1 million views is a song with 1 million views. Objectively speaking, that's what that is. A terrible album that no one listened to is just a terrible album, bro. It's just a terrible album, and it means that there's no more public outcry for what you do, for what you're selling. And honestly, I feel like that kind of goes back into this situation with Kwame and with Kevin Samuels and a lot of these other dudes. I think these men represent a possible shift. I think people have just been tired of what the mainstream black media has been talking about. It's not even so much what you've done. It's what their talking points have been. Now I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm gonna stop listening to any of the guys that any of them are talking about. I'm not gonna act like I was listening a whole lot either, though. But you know, I'll keep my ears. You know what I mean? I'll keep my ears perked. Hear a little bit of what everyone's saying. But I think that it should definitely be taken into consideration that maybe instead of attacking what these people have to say, maybe listen to it for a second. Really actually break that stuff down. If we want to just talk about like people's personal lives in the midst of like actual debate, then fine. Do that. Understand that's the drama, that's for the clicks. But if we're talking about actually changing minds, bro, you lose the second you did that. The second that you do that, you lose. If we're talking about changing the narrative, yeah, you lose. But again, I'm people watching, bro. I'm observing what everyone is saying. I'm observing how people are going about this conversation. And I think that this could be something very interesting. I honestly do. Now I know these names, these people, everyone involved, all right? These are really polarizing people. And like I said, that's fine. That's good. The publicity is great for everyone involved. I promise you, the publicity is awesome for everyone involved, bro. As a public figure, these people have to love that their name is popping right now. To a degree. I'm not going to say everyone loves it the same way, but to a degree. But I still think that we should watch this. We should watch what's happening right now, because I think that a lot of people are kind of upset that certain voices are losing ground. I'm not gonna say losing ground, that's strong, but other voices are gaining it. And if you don't do something about these things early, they become bigger issues later. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, like I said, shout out everyone, you know. I'm definitely enjoying all of the great content this floating around. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, man. Do you feel like what's happening right now is, like I said, some like flyby situation, or do you feel like the conversation is only just beginning, and we could be in for some very, very interesting moves over the next few years? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Outside of that, I'm Mr. AB Raw. I got a mic. I got a drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and be easy, drill gang.